Hi all, welcome back. So if you've been here before, you know that this is going to be a quick energy check and it's going to be mostly focused on love. And love can be obviously meant in several ways. So this could be a reading that's relating to a partner or somebody that is most prominent in your energy at this time, which could be also a family member, a friend. You will know which one resonates with you the most, okay? So please don't forget that this is a collective reading, okay? So not everything will resonate with you. And if you find, and whenever I mention, let's say, that a sign reminds me of another sign or it kind of calls my attention to another sign, then perhaps that's because there's a message in there for you, okay? So go check that reading as well. So okay, let's start with, okay, cards are popping out. Let's start with Aries and let's see where this is headed. Okay, so Aries, let's see the two rows of cards that are going to pop up for you. It's going to be you and perhaps another person, or maybe you and you, because you're doing some self-work at this time. So you will know which one is the scenario we're talking about. So let me see. So cards were popping out while I was doing a bit of an intro. There we go. There's one here. We got the Six of Wands. Let's see what else. Okay. Ace of Swords and the Five of Cups. Okay, let's lay down the second row of cards and see what the second energy is all about, or the continuation of your own energy is all about. We got Death and Rebirth. Okay, wow, they came all together. Okay, so I got the Ten of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so let me just put it in focus here so that you actually get to see it. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so Aries, this week, because this is a short energy check, just lasting for a week, it seems that finally there has been success, or there will be success this week on something that you're much more clear about. You seem to be coming out of a space of feeling lost, or feeling at a loss, as in like you don't know what is there for you, and maybe there was a period of I hear the word abandonment, but it doesn't have to be, and it's just for some reason there's something here that calls my attention, and I will say it because it may be worth for some of you, or maybe even one of you. It seems like you have been looking at your life as if you were a spectator instead of actually being the protagonist. I know this is very specific, but I got this image in my head, and so I believe it's important. Just want to have a look. Yeah, and it seems like you have really kind of contributed in a way to all of this, and not obviously not because you felt like you wanted to feel pain, but more so because you felt so much at a loss that you may have sunk yourself in whatever the despair was, because now the word that is coming to me is despair, and you may have just made it worse knowingly, if you see what I mean. But this week seems to be a week where you can finally tap in something that is much more, it's much brighter. You get some sort of clarity, and you finally, I feel like you're going to get out of this loop that you have been in, and then things should get much better from now on. Now, if this is another person, this person down here has actually gone through a profound transformation, or will be going through a profound transformation. And usually profound transformations, don't get me wrong, they don't take 1 week to be implemented. So given that this is a short energy reading, please just take this with a grain of salt. Like, it may be the beginning of a transformation, which I wouldn't be surprised about at all, because especially you, Aries, but a few other signs will be in your same position. We're about to go through an eclipse, a solar eclipse, which is the second and last one for this portal this time around. And so, and it happens in Aries. So that's absolutely relevant to you. You will be certainly affected. So I would say that either somebody that you're dealing with and so you're involved with, so your energies are intertwined, is going and will be going through a profound transformation starting now, because the energy of the eclipse is already to be felt clearly. Or this is you, and that's why I was saying also before, like, this could be you and this could be another person, but this could also be a story about you, in which case I would start with that one. The profound transformation is you going through this major eclipse that it's going to affect all of us, but you specifically, in the area of relationships, and you're going to be charging ahead in a true Aryan style. You're going to leave behind whatever it was that led to this transformation, that allowed for this transformation to take place, just because the weight was just unbearable, or whatever it was that you were carrying with you. And mind you, it could also be something strictly ancestral. It may have not been something that you have created for your own self this life, this time around. So there's that. And so you're going to, get out of this space of needing to feel guarded, always needing to just check your back and see whether, somebody's out there to get you. And you finally get into a place of peace or satisfaction or fulfillment. But the word that there's a word that kind of tries to pop out and I can't point out what it is. Serenity is the word. Like, in a place where you don't feel at a loss anymore, you feel very grounded and centered, and you know exactly that that's where you want to be. And so if nothing else, if this is not all happening in a week, because I believe it's quite impossible, this major transformation, but that there will be the beginning of it, and that's what matters. Starting somewhere is what matters, because then you can continue on that path. Okay, and so if this is another person, then this is what this other person is going through: a major transformation, leaving behind whatever it is that was really weighing on them, and finally, opening up and not feeling like they need to watch their back constantly, and finally reach a place where there is a bit more serenity and grounding. So you both, if this is two people, you both are going through some sort of major not awakening necessarily, but a change for sure. And the change is definitely something that's going to put you both more at peace where you're at, and you're going to feel more fulfilled. And even from the outside, that will be something that you will be conveying to other people, especially this first energy. It's it's not just an internal process. It seems like it's going to be also majorly acknowledged from the exterior. Okay. All right, Aries, I hope this helps, and I see you next week. Bye. Hi, Taurus, welcome back. So if you've been here before, you know how this works. Let's see the two rows of cards that are gonna pop out. If you've never been here before, I'm just gonna lay out two rows of cards, which will tell me something about two energies involved in this, given that this is a love reading mostly. But don't forget that it may also be work that you're doing on yourself. So the two rows of cards will actually tell me more about the kind of energy that you are going through for this upcoming week. So it's a short energy reading anyway, so take it as it resonates, and don't get too hooked up on it, knowing that in any case you can always change the outcome. But I like to do this weekly, because at least it gives us a little bit of sets the tone for the week, and at least we know what we're going to face at this specific time. Okay, first row card is out. Okay, cards are popping. All right, I'll tell you in a minute what they are. Okay, so first row of cards is the Knight of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Lovers. Okay, second row is the Devil, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Okay, so Taurus, right off the bat, I would say that you start the energy with the week with an energy that it's very appropriate to the sign of Taurus. So a slow moving energy, but nonetheless a steady energy that keeps moving forward. And it seems like you are on a path of changing something, in the sense of like leaving behind something that doesn't serve you anymore, in order to, you know, get to see brighter horizons ahead, and that may be involving indeed somebody else, because the card of the Lovers, which traditionally in the tarot is also a card of choice, so it could be that you're moving towards a choice that you have to make, so that would be one option. But generally speaking, nowadays, you know, and this card and on this deck specifically, for me, it's always been a card that symbolizes a very strong connection for those who believe in it, also twin flame connection. And so I would say that there is movement towards whatever this, energy is, this person is. I am called to say that there may be a Sagittarius involved, just because that's how it pops up in my mind, or even a Gemini. But it doesn't have to be at all. It's just something that I think about when I get this card sometimes, but not always. And right now I did, so I thought it was worth mentioning it. But just wanted to have a look. Yeah, you're protected is the message I get. You are certainly protected and determined. Determined. You may not be happy about whatever it is that you're leaving behind, even if it's a slow moving progress. It is still a progress, and you're heading that way. I have two cards here that to me signal moving away from something, of which the Six of Swords, which is mostly what, you know, the meaning of the Six of Swords is what it is, a transition to, you know, into something better. But it doesn't seem like you're extremely happy about the this movement. Maybe you're not sure yet. Maybe you harbor some resentment, some anger, I don't know, some feelings that don't make everything to be so bright. So you're either moving towards a connection or you're moving away from a connection. That's that will resonate differently from all of you. And in any case, it seems to be a very strong connection, something that if you're moving away from, it seems to be very painful, because it seems to be a major choice in your life that you know it's going to be with you for the rest of your life, probably. Like, you're not going to forget this, or you're moving towards a connection. So maybe you're leaving behind old ways of being, patterns, things that have blocked your path up until now, and now you're free to actually get into a new kind of relationship. So take it as it resonates, okay? Now the second row of cards is the Devil, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. So we got two aces, two new beginnings in two very different ways. One is very practical, more than practical, is actually more in the head, but as in clarity. It gives a whole lot of new ideas, because it's a clear-headed sort of energy that is in play or at play. And then there's an Ace of Cups, which is all about self-love, pouring love from your own cup into another. Mostly I would say self-love. And the Devil being here, you're either dealing with a Capricorn, or if this is a second energy, I would say this is a person that is either freeing themselves from an energy that kind of kept them stuck, and maybe felt like they were being manipulated, or and so they're moving into, or they're, this week they were actually going to have more of they get more clarity, they get more love for themselves, and so they can actually give it to others. Or it could be seen both ways to me. Definitely the energy of the Devil is a heavy one, which compared to two new beginnings seems like an ending of what was in Devil style kind of situation. So blockages and feelings of, I keep thinking manipulated, and moving into a space of clarity and love. So that's mostly how I see it, I have to be honest. And if this is not another person, it would make sense to me that this is actually a continuation of the first part here, which is maybe the connection that you are moving away from is a connection that brought those kind of feelings with it. The feeling of being manipulated, feeling of, not having power. Yeah, powerless. is the word, like feeling like the good and the bad weather is played by another person, or is being played by another person. You felt like stuck in that energy, like you couldn't really get out of it. But let's not forget that this most of the time is what we impose on ourselves. But if you were in or you are in a relationship and maybe the other person is not participating enough, or is participating in mildly, let's say that it's a relationship where one gives crumbs to the other and the other one leaves out of those crumbs, then obviously that can turn, for the person that gets the crumbs, it can turn into a feeling of powerlessness. But again, we always have a choice. So, and this is not to judge you, or absolutely not. It's more so to say we all fall into that trap every once in a while, because we believe, we love, we care, we trust, and then last, next thing you know is we are in a loop that just doesn't lead us anywhere. So it seems like there's a kind of freedom and a more conscious embodiment of your energy, understanding who you are, getting clarity about the situation, the dynamics of the situation, and then finally giving love to yourself and kind of being reborn that way. Okay, so I hope this helps. This is pretty intense. I hope this helps, and keep checking with me next week and see how this goes. Okay, if you have any comment, please leave them in the box below. I'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, thank you so much. See you soon, Taurus. Bye. Hi Gemini, welcome back. So let's have a look at your energy for this upcoming week when it comes to love. Now, let's not forget that love can be seen as love for yourself. So maybe you're in the process of doing some work on yourself, or it can definitely be the love that you share with another person, and it doesn't have to be an intimate partner. It could also be a friend, a co-worker, a family member, you name it. Okay. So first raw of cards with this short energy check that will last, let's say, 1 week. We got the Moon, we got the Six of Swords, and the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. It's interesting because the Six of Swords has just come up for Taurus as well. So maybe you want to go check that reading, because there could be some kind of relation here between the two signs. And actually, in the Taurus reading, and now that I'm thinking of it, I felt the connection with other Sagittarius or Gemini. So yeah, definitely go listen to the previous reading. Second row of cards is the Nine of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so Gemini, there's something that you either were not aware of, or that you felt, I want to say, that you felt that was hidden from you, and it just was heavy on your heart, that you're kind of moving away from. As I told Taurus, there seems to be a transition that at this time may not seem like the easiest thing to do, but mostly you may still carry with you some resentment or some disappointment perhaps. And so even if you're finally kind of freeing yourself from this situation where you felt like you were being kept in the darkness of some aspects of it, at least, you are just carrying a bit the resentment, because perhaps you're like, why did it have to come to this point? Why do I have to move out of a situation that I believed in, that I trusted, that I loved perhaps? And why were things kept from me? Why is this not going better? So I would say that thankfully you embrace more of the energy of the Queen of Swords this upcoming week. And what that means is that you're going to see things a bit, clearly, but also in a very peaceful way, in a very serene way. Now, I know that the Queen of Swords is usually, people usually say she's very cold, she's very detached, and she is. But then from deck to deck, it also changes. And in this specific deck, she's a peaceful, detached energy. She's an energy that is okay where she's at, and so she doesn't have to come across as a cold, detached in a negative way. She can come across as confident, as empowered, and so that will actually possibly lead to either more peace of mind, and therefore like a sense of being okay also with your feelings. And even if this thing doesn't sit well with you right now, eventually you'll get to a point where you're, you know, absorbing processing the idea of a change, possibly in this case, since there's a transition here with the six of swords. Or you maybe you will meet somebody that is actually a bit more grounded in their emotions, and a bit more transparent is the word that I'm thinking of. And so this moon here and all the things that were kept hidden from you, you actually will not get the same kind of experience with this new person that you're meeting. I just want to say that I just thought about again the Taurus reading, where two aces came out, and one was the Ace of Cups and one was the Ace of Swords. And now we have the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. I understand they're not the same cards. What I'm trying to say is that the energy is very similar in terms of clarity coming in, emotions being validated finally. So there's an energy that renews in the same kind of way. So mentally, so thought process, but also heart-wise. And so I would say that there definitely is a connection with Taurus. So just go have a look at that one, that reading. So the second row of cards is the Nine of Pentacles, the Strength, and the Two of Pentacles. What this tells me is that if this is another energy here, it's a person that it's in a much better place already after having had to choose between, being stuck in a choice that they were not sure where to go, but they are already in a situation of feeling empowered and kind of reaping the fruits of abundance that they have worked for. So they are already, or they're heading to this week in a much empowered place already. They could be a Leo, but doesn't have to be. But I would say that if this reading is all about you, so if this is one story, I'd say that by taking yourself away from a situation that is not serving you, because you always feel like you are being kept in the dark of something, and you actually access a more open space emotionally speaking, where you feel okay where you're at, and then you have the presence to say I am okay with it, then that's what is going to keep you in it's going to move you forward towards the abundance that is available to you, because you will feel much more empowered. Here the word empowered in the first row had come up already, so I would say that the Strength card is kind of stressing that part. And definitely it seems like you have dwelled on the choice, should I stay or should I go kind of choice, it seems to be to me right now. And eventually by moving out and recentering yourself both mentally and emotionally, you actually empower yourself to get to the point where you want to be, which is a place where you feel really good with yourself, and when you start seeing the rewards for everything, all the work that you have done. Okay. All right, Gemini, interesting reading. Well, let me know in the comments if this resonates, and please don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe if you like this, and check with me next week, because we'll see the continuation of this story. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Hi Cancer, welcome back. So if you've been here before, you already know how this works. I'm going to lay out 2 rows of cards, and that will be corresponding to either you, like your full story here for this upcoming week. Don't forget, this is a short energy reading. Wow, okay, I didn't mean to get all of those cards, but they all came out, so I take them all. Or perhaps you're dealing with somebody else indeed, because this is a love reading. Although, like I said, love can be many things. It could be also love for yourself and for the work that you're doing. And in that case, we'll see what is the second energy separately as well. Okay, well, this came out as a short book. Okay, I thought there were more cards. Okay, let's see what else is in there. Doesn't feel right. Okay. Okay, Cancer. Let's have a look at this. You get many more cards than the other readings so far. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so you got the Seven of Cups. That's how you start the first row, and I would assume it's you. Seven of Wands, King of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, it seems like this upcoming week opens up with either a whole lot of choices or indecision, or something that perhaps keeps you stuck in the arena of the emotional space, let's say. Yeah. And then, but you don't seem to be open. Like, I get the feeling that you don't seem to be really open to the different possibilities that are ahead of you. It seems like the energy is quite strong. It's the energy of somebody who is very aware of their self-worth, and they know who they are. It's somebody that has been, has built himself or herself in a way that, there's a whole lot of confidence coming through. So perhaps I don't see a whole lot of openness towards the different perspectives that could be shown to you if you only were a little bit more open. And indeed, it seems that the encouragement here for this upcoming week is to actually let go of this. The word that came through, and don't shoot the messenger, is presumptuous. So maybe let go a little bit of this attitude of, I know who I am, I know what I want, I know where I'm going, sort of thing. Because for as much as we'd love to think that that's the case, we don't know it all at all times, unfortunately. And the universe keeps surprising us. So even when we think that that's the case, in truth, if you really go deep, and how many times have you had everything really under control and you knew exactly how the situation would play out? It's very rare. So the encouragement I would say is to really let go of knowing it all, if that's the situation you're in. And I say this with love. I mean, we all fall into this trap every once in a while because we're human, pretty much, and that there's nothing wrong with that. This is our path on earth to walk. But surrender to the many possibilities, and maybe you will get a different perspective. And that's interesting because actually there is a card that tells me that right after. But let me finish this first row card, which is, with this surrender, with this different attitude, then you can actually even get some exchange, perhaps with other people, that will help you see other perspective, or you won't have this feeling that you're always the one in the position of being able to give. You will be able to receive as well. Maybe this is something new for you. Maybe you're not the kind of person that is used to receive. And so this is like, okay, what are we talking about? This is not something I'm used to. So it could play out in different ways, but there seems to be equal give and take available to you this upcoming week if you only let go of this very strong energy that kind of limits the possibilities in your head to the ones that you already know. Because the message that keeps coming through is that there are things that you may not know, there are ways of doing things that you may not be aware of, but you need to leave space for those to come through to you. Now, I just want to say right away that the second row cards opens up with the Hangman, which is the card that says that there are new perspectives or different perspectives that are coming through, and they are, and that's a moment where you don't need to act, but you just have to kind of observe and let the situation play out. And so I am, tempted to say that this reading, it's all about you, perhaps, and dealing with somebody else, but it's all about the work that you're doing or the process that you're going through, because it opens with the Hangman over here. So different perspectives, and perhaps that means that you have you have surrendered to this energy, and finally you get to see what else is out there available to you. And that kind of gives you a whole lot of new ideas and inputs to start new projects, new ventures, or new ways to go about old things, for example. Now, the Knight of Swords, it doesn't always, I mean, for most people, it doesn't come across as a card that is super positive, because it's a card that that implies a lot of rush and a lot of not thinking about a situation, a bit of selfishness, I would say. And I don't always get that message, and not always with this deck. Today, I must say that it just, it feels like it carries again this quality of, I know it all. I'm very conscious of who I am. I know where I'm going. So even though you possibly try to leave space to new perspectives, or maybe this is the possibilities indeed that are open to you. This is a continuation. It says, if you surrender, you're gonna have give and take. You're gonna get to see different perspective. You're gonna get new ideas, and you will be able to go about the situation or the situations that you're handling at this moment in different ways, because you will have different perspectives. But for some reason, it seems like you are choosing to really do it your way. And the Knight of Swords is really underneath the King of Wands, and the King of Wands was the actual energy here that comes across as the energy of, I know who I am, like this kind of really assured energy, self-assured energy. And it seems like going about whichever the situation is in this Knight of Swords kind of way, so rushed and not wanting to listen to anybody, not wanting to pay attention to what the encouragement is. Well, that could also lead you to not be in a great space for this upcoming week. It could bring pain, it could bring hurt to you and to others. That's what I'm hearing as well. And it may make you feel trapped, but you gotta understand that it seems like it's your time to open up. It's your time to do the work on yourself, really, because that's what's how this reading ends with the Eight of Pentacles, which is working on yourself, working on your craft, and I would say working really on your way of being, because at this time you may have all of the reasons in the world to feel like you are a self-established, and and that you know how things work for you, because you already gained a lot of experience, and maybe you are a bit towards my age and towards the 20s, and so what you're thinking is that, listen, I've gone through a lot and now I know who I am. And fair enough, I know the experience is what would take us to the next step and the next step and the next step. But it seems like there's still a lot of work, I would say, that needs to be done here, because clearly the pain, you're still carrying it within yourself, and it doesn't seem like it's changing much this upcoming week. Clearly you can also always change the outcome whichever way you want, because you have free will. So this is good to know that this is the energy at this time for the upcoming week. But yeah, so this is what I get for now. Now, if the second row instead is another person here, and this other person is also encouraged to either look at at things in different perspectives, or maybe they do, but they make a rush decision, is what I get. So maybe they have, they look at things and they're like, okay, I see where this is going, so I'm just going to rush into it. And, it may have been a choice that they make that is not well thought over. Sorry, I'm not a native English speaker, obviously. And so that leads to more and more work to do on themselves, and to get out of the pain and the hurt. And it seems like it's a lesson learned that it's about to come up, but it's not one that comes with a light heart or fewer consequences. I mean, these are not long-term consequences, but it definitely shows a bit of hurt for this upcoming week. So again, caution here is to be put on really observe and try to not rush into any decision, because there's still a whole lot that you either don't know, or work that you still need to do before you get where you want to get. And this is the message for the second energy, if this is what we're talking about here. Okay, all right, Cancer, this was a little intense, and I hope you take what resonates, and you check in next week and see how this goes. And if you have any comments, please let me know, so that I can I'll be really happy to know how this goes for you. And also, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you like this. this reading because yeah, that's it. That's the way it's gonna help me grow and reach more and more people. Okay, well, thank you so much, Cancer, and I hope to see you next week again. Bye. Hi Leo, welcome back. So if you have never been here before, I am going to pull out two cards, two rows of cards, and they will either symbolize two different energies, so your energy and the energy of somebody else that you're dealing with, or this will be a full reading for you for the kind of energy you are embodying at this moment. Don't forget that this is a short and quick energy reading. It just lasts for a week, at least this is my intention. And that the outcome can obviously be changed just by free will. And also this is a collective reading, so please just take whatever resonates and leave behind what doesn't. Okay, so Leo, here we got the two rows of cards. So the first one is the Five of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the Six of Swords. Needless to say that there's a whole lot of energy that is up in your head, stuck in your head, things that are not coming through very clearly, some either deceptive energy or a bit of dishonesty maybe, something that is coming to surface this upcoming week. You're not going to be stuck in your head for way too long. It seems to be like you are on a path of movement forward in terms of leaving behind what it is that is hurting you at this time. And it's interesting because the Six of Swords has come out already for two out of the five signs that I've read for. It came out for at least two, for Taurus and Gemini for sure. Yeah, so you may have a connection with those two signs, and I would say the same that I told the other two signs, which is you may be moving away from whatever the situation is, but not fully like with your heart at peace. You either carry with you resentments or you carry with you disappointment for however this situation has gone. But because of the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords are present here, which really seem to be thoughts nagging at your head. But I would say also rightfully so, because the Seven of Swords being here tells me that there is something unclear, something that you may have felt wasn't just quite right, and you just want to get yourself out of this energy. And I would understand. I mean, it's a heavy energy. That it's heavy because it plays with your head. That's how I feel. So it's not just an emotional carrying, an emotional weight that you're carrying in your heart that heavies you down. It feels like it's something that is messing with your head, and clearly it's something that you want to get out of. So no matter the way you're doing it, it seems like a good idea to be doing that. Now, the second row of cards is the cards are the Temperance, the Chariot, and the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Temperance and the Chariot here tell me that this is a major time of change where some sort of balance can be stricken out or should be stricken out, and then there's movement forward for a whole new possibility in terms of new projects, new grounding activities, or a situation that grounds you, but at the same time it grounds you because it gives you different things to think about. It seems like you finally get yourself out of that space, and you can invest your energy in something that is actually practically serving you. But that requires indeed a rebalancing of the energies, because you seem to be quite off track with whatever was going on, and then you can actually move forward. Now, let's not forget that the Chariot is also quick movement ahead into something that may be like a fork in a road, and so you don't know where to go. But given that the Page of Pentacles is here, I would say that when you finally move away from whatever it was and you charge ahead into a new space after you have acquired some sort of balance, about you and about, your environment, your energetic environment, then you get actually to start over again with something that it's really serving you, and it's really kind of like helping you to even put roots and start over with something that is the words that keep coming are practical and grounding for you. So this is how I see it. Now, if this is a second person here, so second energy, it doesn't have to do with you, although the energies obviously are intertwined. Then it's a person that is doing this kind of work of rebalancing themselves out for whatever reason, what was going on for them at the time. So even last week, doesn't have to be too far back in time. And then again, they're going to be charging over towards a situation that I keep thinking of new projects coming in. So maybe this is not necessarily related to an emotional situation for this person, but even if it's a love reading, you may be dealing with somebody that you care about, that you love. They're actually maybe thinking about new projects, new ventures, and they're not sure about it. And so they kind of like rebalance themselves, and then they find their way to move forward quickly towards what it is. And this week seems to be a good week to do so. Okay. Or if this is, if the question that you're asking, is this a good moment to make the move and to change and to, I don't know, invest into this new project or venture, then it seems like the cards would point into that direction. Okay. All right, Leo, I hope this helped. If you like this reading, please don't forget to put a like and subscribe to my channel, okay? That will help me reach more and more people that may be in need of guidance or support or whatever, okay? Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next week again. Bye. Hi Virgo, welcome back. So if you've been here before, you already know how this works. If you haven't, you will see that I'm going to lay out 2 rows of cards. The first one will be your energy, possibly, but take it as it resonates. You may be wanting to flip the roles if you need to, and then a second energy that you're mostly intertwined in at this time. But what I say to all of my signs here is that perhaps this is just a story that unfolds about you for this upcoming week, the kind of work you're doing on yourself, the path you're on, and that's absolutely fine, because that can involve another person, obviously, or other people, but it tells me more about you and what you're going through. So take this as it resonates, like I said, and let's see. You already have the first row of cards out, and it's the Knight of Wands, the Strength, and the Emperor. And the second row of cards is the Nine of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups. Okay. The card, just, for full disclosure, the Tower was, kind of peeping out and looking at me, but it didn't flip out, so I didn't take it. But I wanted to take note of it because it seemed to want it to pop out. So, okay, Virgo, so starting with the first row, the Knight of Wands, the Strength card, and the Emperor. This is a strong energy that we're starting with, and it's an energy that tells me a whole lot of fire is going on. I see Aries and I see Sagittarius and Leo. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be in any of those signs or not having them in your chart, but you may be dealing with somebody that does. Either way, you are surrounded by this energy. Now, for me, it's a whole lot of self-empowerment, self-assertiveness, giving priority of things that are rewarding. The only thing I'm thinking about, because I keep getting this feeling while I'm saying all of these words, self-assertiveness, self-empowerment, and all of that, I keep feeling like a strong energy that may not be the gentlest energy to deal with, perhaps for other people. So if that's the case, you will know then maybe you're coming across as a little too strong for other people, because it seems like the priority here for this energy, at least, is to kind of like getting what is best for you, which, by the way, we all should be doing that. It's just that there are different ways to go about the same thing, is what I always say to my friends and in my readings. If I find the calling to say it. And this is one of the times when I'm saying, hey, it's great that you work on yourself, that you do you, that you're having fun, and that you are just taking care of that part, and you put that as a priority. Let's just be a bit careful about how that comes across to others, and if we're not in the process hurting others carelessly. Like, if you hurt somebody because you're doing you, but you're not doing it to hurt, and you're not doing it consciously, then that's fine. But if you know that you may be hurting people in your own process, then perhaps find a way to still be you, but also tend to the situation. I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent, but it just doesn't feel like it's a tangent. I mean, I could say a whole lot of stuff when the Emperor and the Strength are out, but this is what I'm called to do. I'm called to say also, don't forget the connection between the the above and below, as above, so below. And that's because perhaps there's a sense of, indeed, such a self-empowerment that perhaps we're just not, we feel a bit like superhumans, if you see what I mean. And again, nothing wrong with that. If you feel good, the energy is raised, and you will attract more people that way. But you may also attract people, indeed, that you may end up having a confrontation with, just because you attract people that are on your same vibe. And this is a very, to me, it can be confrontational. It doesn't have to be, but it definitely carries a quality of, hey, you want to mess with me? Bring it on. And you may be attracting that. So if this is not what you're after, and you recognize yourself in this moment, then this message probably is for you. Otherwise, live it. The second row of cards here is the Nine of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups speaks of emotional abundance, as in like something that, in my view, is something that this energy, whether it's you or another person, is actually reached and attained that because of their hard work. And so now they're actually making benefit, really, of the results of whatever it is that they have worked hard for. Now, there still seem to be a new beginning, a new opportunity to be offered, but that kind of requires either moving away from something, distancing oneself from something, or leaving behind something that was less than you were meant for, is what I get. Now, I know it's not exactly proper English, I would say, but the message here is that there's, I mean, it's beautiful. It starts beautifully, and it seems like there's even more ahead, is what I get. That maybe you have settled, or this energy has settled for something that was maybe shining for themselves, like being, a good place to be, or a good enough place to be. Let's put it that way. But moving away from that actually opens up even more abundance, even more possibilities to shine. And it's crazy because it seems like you have it all. I mean, after the Nine of Cups comes the Ten of Cups, which is complete emotional fulfillment. So it's just, it seems like getting more and more and more opportunity. But perhaps here it speaks about having the courage of moving away from something that is just good enough and into something that is really what you're meant to be in, like something that you're much more aligned with, something that will make you shine even more. And I keep saying you as if this was you, but it could be another person. And if this is one reading only, I would say that perhaps this Strength card here, it's all about what shines for you, what could make you shine even more if you have the courage, which Strength also symbolizes, the card of Strength symbolizes, if you have the courage to move away from something that is just good enough. And so maybe this could be the situation that you're in. If this is one reading, now I'm thinking of it, maybe you think you're contented enough for where you are, although the Knight of Wands is not a contented energy, is a fully enjoying life kind of card. But it seems like also, and so is the Nine of Cups. I mean, the Nine of Cups is like, I have it all. I mean, it's just fantastic. I worked hard and now I'm just like really fulfilled. But there seems to be something more. And so in this case, then I would say that perhaps this old reading, if you don't recognize yourself in what I was saying before, it's an encouragement for you to actually embrace your power. And by that, I mean pumping yourself up for a big decision that could entail leaving something or someone behind, because there's more for you ahead. And so this is interesting because I really could see this in a couple of ways. And the beginning of the reading was giving me another message. So I guess there will be groups of you for which this would resonate differently. And perhaps that's why the message is coming across this way. But it's very interesting, Virgo. It seems to be a couple of options here. And yeah, you will know. I don't want to linger too much because this is supposed to be a short energy check. But let me know how it goes, what resonates for you in the comments. I would be very interested to know, because this is, it's rare when I get a message and then a very different message afterwards. And that tells me that there are different people in different situations right now that need to listen to this. So please let me know. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to give me a like. And please, please, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because this is the way I can reach out to more and more people that are in need of guidance, help, support, whatever that is that it does for them. Okay? Well, thank you so much, Virgo. I hope to see you again next week. Bye. Hi, Libra. Welcome back. So, been here before, you know how this works. I know it's the same thing I say over and over again to all of my signs, but not everybody listens to all of the signs, so I feel called to say that each and every time. So I will lay out 2 rows of cards, and there will either be 2 energies involved here, which one of them be, will be you, and then maybe another person, or this can simply be the way your energy unfolds for this upcoming week, because this is a very short energy check, which is mostly focused on love. But because love could be also about yourself and what you do to get to that state, then I always say that this could also be a story that unfolds around you this upcoming week. So take it as it resonates. It's a collective reading, so not everything will. And yeah, and don't forget that you have free will, so you can always change the outcome anytime. All right, so the first row of cards is has the Fool, the Page of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. So here I would say that I would say that this is you, Libra, either ready for a new beginning, which may either feel scary and thrilling at the same time, or you just really just say, hey, I trust the universe, it's gonna catch me, so I'm just gonna go. But there's also there seems to also be a whole lot of thoughts that are not really put in the right order, or they kind of the Page of Swords, I don't always see it that way, but in this case I do see a whole lot of ideas, but they may be more confusing than helpful. So perhaps this new beginning that you are about to embark on, this new journey that you're about to embark on, if that's the case, or if this is the approach that you are intending to take for this upcoming week, for in whichever situation you're in, it doesn't seem like it comes with flawless flowing energy, and that you know what you're doing and you really are surrendering to the universe. No, it seems like you are embarking in a new journey, but like you have sort of the clutter in your head to the point that you get stuck and you don't know what to do about it, and you're just not really maybe sure which is the right thought or idea that you need to follow. So I would say that probably the only thing you can do at this time, if this is your situation, is to really trust the energy of the Fool, which is the beginning of the tarot deck. Is just a very brand new baby-like sort of beginning where you don't know anything and you're not supposed to know anything. So you have to trust the energy of the Fool in this case, and that's what you need to go with. Ideas will come to you, and trust that you will be guided into the right direction so that you can avoid getting stuck into your head, because this is the risk at this time, that you just are too stuck in your head and you just don't enjoy really this new energy coming in, and then you don't take the best really out of this new situation that you're embarking on. Okay, the second row of cards here is the Five of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. Now, this energy speaks of a bit of conflict, a bit of apathy, a bit of kind of feeling like outside of life. For some reason, I feel like saying that. I know it doesn't make much sense in English, but what I'm trying to say is like you're living in a sort of a numb state at this time, and this is probably due to the fact that you cannot make up a decision to save your life. And I say you, but it could be another person, obviously. So if this is another person, is a person that is dealing with all of that, like there's a decision ahead and they don't know how to go about it. There's conflict. There are things that are just cannot. It doesn't seem like this is the week that this is going to get resolved. It's just a state that they're in. So be aware of it if you're dealing with somebody with this energy. Yeah, maybe you are sharing a life with this person, and so maybe that's how the two energies are intertwining. So you know, like maybe you're arguing about how to go about a new journey that you want to take together, but the other person doesn't seem to be fully in it, because they possibly see only two options, two ways to go about it, and they just kind of like withdraw, and they maybe not participating enough, and that maybe can cause some conflict. So this is the kind of interaction that may be going on this upcoming week, if these are two energies of which you are one of. Now, if this is only you, then I would say that whatever, indeed, you know, the getting stuck in your head sort of thing, to go back to that, that can bring conflict, that can bring a sense of numbness. And what for? Indecision? Really? Is that what you want to do? You have the Fool here. You have the Fool that says, hey, it's a bright new beginning that you have the chance to embrace as if you were a baby, as if, you know, like in a way that you don't need to have all the answers. Just allow the universe to nurture you into a situation, because the universe doesn't get it wrong. But you need to get out of your head, and you need to stop feeling like you are at a bit of a loss just because you have a decision to make. It's not going to serve you well. So this is a week where, in my opinion, the way I see the cards and what I feel is that you really have to embrace this Full energy at this time. And don't forget that you can always make changes and move forward, even this upcoming week, even if it doesn't seem like the energy is moving, but this is the energy that is available to you. Let's not forget that you have free will. So you knowing that this is the energy, then you can make the step and change what it is that you don't want. Okay. All right, Libra, I hope this helped. Please let me know in the comments how this goes, if it resonated with you. And please, please, please don't forget to give me a like and to subscribe to my channel so that I can reach out to more and more people that may be in need of guidance or support or whatever it is that these readings are doing for them. Okay? Well, thank you so much, and I hope to see you next week. Bye. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome back. So, Scorpio, like I said to all the other signs, if you don't know how this works, I'm just going to pull out 2 rows of cards, and that can tell a story about either you and another person, or it will be the story of, I think this was the order, the story about you, what's unfolding for you in this upcoming week. And don't forget that this is indeed just a short, quick energy check in matter of love, and love can be about a lot of stuff. That doesn't have to be with an intimate partner or even with a friend or family members. It could indeed be all about you. So you have to take whatever it is that resonates for you in the way that it does. No, actually, yes. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. And so, yeah, take it as it resonates and leave what doesn't resonate And don't forget that you always have free will, so you can always change the outcome if you're not happy with what the energy that's presented to you is all about. Okay. All right, so one thing I want to say straight off the bat is that the Fool was, it just came out once up until now, and it was in the reading right before yours in Libra. So you may have something to do with Libra. If that's the case, just go have a look at that one. And you can also possibly be something to do with Taurus or Sagittarius even, but it doesn't have to be, okay? These are just the signs that are kind of popping in my mind at the moment. So based on the cards obviously that I'm having here. So okay, Scorpio, so you got in the first row, you got the Hierophant, the King of Swords, and Judgment. What this tells me is that the first message I get is a whole lot of enlightenment that comes from a huge clarity of mind, or that comes from somebody that provides guidance to you. Something that allows you to calm down is what I get. To release any stress that you may have been going on at this time. It seems to be like a path ahead of you that you may not be aware of, that you don't see yet. But that can and will make you very, very much at peace if peace is something that you are lacking at this moment. But for some reason, I keep getting this feeling or this thought that there is somebody that will be contributing to this change for you, to this, this peace coming in, to this feeling of releasing, of being able to release the stress coming in. Okay, so a mentor, somebody maybe older than you, or it could definitely be just you, just embodying that energy of somebody that has worked hard and now has things clear ahead. But because I don't think that you see what's available to you, and you seem stuck at this moment into a bit of a stressful situation that keeps you up in your mind, or maybe you go about it in a very with mental process full on, but this is not what's required here. What's required is to really release all of this thinking kind of energy, because you really don't see that there's something that would make you feel so much more grounded and safe and happy. You don't see it though. Yeah, it's weird. I wouldn't always get this kind of message for these card combinations, but this is what came now, and so this is what I'm going to say to you, Scorpio, at this moment. Okay, and the second row of cards starts with the Nine of Wands, the Temperance card. That if you've been to my readings before, you know that I don't read reversals usually unless I feel like the card is in reversal, which I felt in this case. So Nine of Wands, Temperance in reverse, the Fool, and the Tower. There's a whole lot of major arcana also in this reading overall. I mean, the Hierophant, Judgment, Temperance, the Fool, the Tower. I mean, this seems like a major time, something that will not be forgotten. It's not like a blip in the radar, and it's the daily situation that gets fixed, solved, or whatever. No, this is major. So it's either major for you and another person that you may be connecting with, or it's all about you. So let's try to break this down a little bit. The second energy opens up with the Knight of Wands, which speaks of of being guarded and not trusting. It seems like, being skeptical about stuff and kind of put yourself on one side of the fence and feeling like you have to fence everybody else off, sort of thing. And that is enhanced by seeing that the Temperance came in reverse here, because it means that there is a desperate need for balance and, understanding, how the energies can be balanced in a different way. But it doesn't seem like that's the case, at least not for this upcoming week. And so the fact that the Fool is following Temperance in reverse tells me that You know, either going about a situation a little foolishly is the message that I get. And obviously this is not a judgment, we all do this, and you know, this is also a way sometimes to say, oh, I'm trusting that whatever it is, and that's great. But maybe in this case, it's just a decision that hasn't been I don't want to say pondered enough, because it's just not about pondering. You see, the Fool is followed by the Tower, and the Tower is a major shake-up in the foundations of whatever it is that the second energy is dealing. So if the Fool is an approach that leads to the Tower, it's because whatever gardenerness that you had here and the lack of balance you had here that brought you to, you know, jump into something, you know, a little foolishly, again, the message was that, then, you know, shakes the foundation, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, sometimes we just need to have a major shake for us to kind of put our priorities back in check and just try and understand what it is that we need to do, because this definitely doesn't work in general. Like, doesn't matter the situation you're handling right now, being so guarded and feeling like the world is out there to get you, and not really sit down and try to see, you know, both sides of a story. I mean, it's just not advisable, period. It's not just a way that you want to go about life. But it seems like that perhaps this leads to something that is not well thought over. Now, because you had these three cards up here, and if this is, you know, if this is all you, I would say that this, when I was saying that perhaps somebody will guide you through it, or you will guide yourself, but you don't seem to be able to see what's available to you in terms of joy, something that gives you safety, and you know, like a feeling like, you know, life is finally smiling back at you. It's because you're coming from this place. You're coming from a space where you are just, you know, you may have done things in a foolish kind of way. And again, it's really a harsh term to use, and I hope you don't take it personal as in badly, because that's not the intention. The intention is to say, perhaps you need somebody that guides you, a mentor, or maybe you need to acquire more how do you say it, more energy that is thoughtful and more you know, accurate in terms of discerning better things. Because this Fool here, it's just look, the Fool is something that I usually look at as a breath of fresh air. It just tells me a lot of like spring, Aries energy, and you know, when everything is in bloom and you just get overcharged and the energy is just you know, everything is cool, but you know, she's about to fall off the cliff too. So in some cases it's encouraged to just not be like a fool, and sometimes it's encouraged to be the Fool, because maybe we're just restraining ourselves too much. And so because the Tower is here, that's what it tells me, that there is at least there is a need for a major shake up in the energy. That's what I feel, and hopefully you'll be able to see this Hierophant here, this safety, this groundness, this joy in life. And whether you get there because you do your work or because somebody's showing you the way, you'll be able to finally release all of the stress that can be tied to feeling so guarded, or not being able to really see things, you know, too many things to juggle, but you don't really put them in the right place you know, with the right priority. So it seems like a very immature energy versus an energy of maturity that needs to kick in. But probably or possibly the Tower will do that for you, if this is only you. Okay, all right, well, Scorpio, that was pretty intense, and yeah, I hope you can appreciate the message as it is. Don't shoot me, I'm the messenger. But yeah, and don't forget, things can always change because you apply free will. If you know that this is what it is, then maybe you want to change something about it, or maybe you can actually go towards that mentor that is out there available to you. And by mentor, I don't mean somebody, a coach that you need to go pay for. Maybe some, you know, like a wiser friend, somebody that, you know, you can trust, and you know that they would give you the right advice. It can only mean that. So yeah, please take it as it resonates. But if you like this reading, if you find that there is some truth in it, it resonates with you in some shape or form, please don't forget to give me a like and to subscribe to my channel so that I can reach more and more people in need for guidance or support or whatever it is that they take out of my readings. Okay? Well, thank you so much, Scorpio. Wish you a good week and I hope to see you next one. Bye. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome back. So, if you've been here before, you know how this works. And if you don't, then I will be laying down here 2 rows of cards. And that could be the energy of 2 different people. They are intertwined somehow. So somebody that is most prominently in your energy at this moment. Or it could also be a story unfolding for you that speaks about you for this upcoming week. So you take it as it resonates. It's a collective reading. And don't forget that the energy is really temporary here because I'm always hoping to read, or at least striving to read every week. So it's just a quick check on the love side and see what's going on for you. Okay, so all the cards are almost out. They are all out now. All right, so the first row of cards is Death and Rebirth, the Magician, and the 7 of Swords. Now, 2 major arcana here and 2 major arcana down the second row, because we have the King of Pentacles, but we also have the Strength card and the Empress. So this tells me, just like I said to Scorpio before, so if you're connected to Scorpio, go watch their video, because I just said the same thing. This is not a blip in the radar kind of situation that you're going through this week. It seems to be something major, something that impacts you, that will impact your life, something you will not forget about. So you and this person, if this is involving 2 people, okay? Now, Death and Rebirth, it's a card that many fear, but I actually love this card. It's the card really that transforms anything that doesn't serve you and gives you the possibility to actually access whatever is available to you because you make space for it. The Magician speaks of really making of your life whatever you want because you are the creator of it. What leaves me a little perplexed is the 7 of Swords, which also speaks of deception or self-deception. That's something that not everybody thinks about. We always think that deception comes from somebody else, but maybe this is something that has to do with you. Now, because the Death and Rebirth card is how the reading opens, followed by the Magician. This tells me that you are in this position where you can actually change stuff about yourself that don't serve you. So things that are not there, that serve you at this time and in life. And like I said, they will not in the long term. Okay. And so maybe it's a time for you to also look into whatever it is or however it is that you have contributed to the situation that you find yourself in, which is a situation that speaks of shedding something from the past, leaving something behind. Something needs to be taken away from your life in order to make space for something better. But you have played a role in this. It's the message that I'm getting. And so be mindful of the fact that whatever situation you're in, even if it involves another person, and I'm thinking straight off the bat a Taurus or a Leo perhaps, don't think that you will be successful in this transformation if you sit on your side of the fence and think that it's all about changing the situation per se. You need to do an internal change is what I get. You can manifest that, and so you are called to pay attention to what it is that you manifest, because you may as well want to manifest a change in your way of going about things. Okay, maybe you're used to do things in a certain way, and maybe you are comfortable and confident about how you go about things. But let's not forget that, especially when a situation involves another person and things don't go so well, it's easy to just put it on the other person and say, oh, but he did this or she did that. It's just too easy. Now, I don't want to speak the obvious here, but it really seems that the message here is to there is a need for transformation, and that involves you as well. Okay, I'm not going to repeat myself over and over, but I wanted the message to be clear here. Now, the second row of cards is the King of Pentacles, like I said, the Strength card, and the Empress. Now, it seems to me that this second energy either was striving for, or was wishing for, or felt like that the best thing for them was to just be in a place where they could feel safe, where they could feel like they had things under control, that they were empowered in a situation. But it speaks also of like, I'm going to say the word maternal energy, because yes, indeed, the Empress can symbolize maternity as well. But maternal energy, as in nurturing, is the word that I want to get to. It seems to be a person that can be strong when given the space to do so. And that is, for me, sort of a half truth, because we have the chance of doing what we want, at least most of the time, unless we are in, dangerous situations. We always have the choice to be in a place where we feel empowered, because we give ourselves the power to be empowered. Yeah. But maybe this person was a bit leaning on the situation or on you for, for when they would feel strong, as opposed to when they would lose their strength and feel like a bit more like, not subdued to the relationship, but more so not as empowered as they would be as an individual, aside from, outside of the relationship. But they definitely are, somebody who is very nurturing and caring. And I don't know, I'm kind of having like a feeling like warmth in my heart right now, because it seems like this person has, or had, but it seems like quality of a person really, this very caring side to themselves, and just a wish for, to see things unfolding in a way that made them feel, secure and safe. And there are two cards here that speak of Earth, and specifically, I would say Taurus, the Empress, but also the King of Pentacles here. So you're either dealing with one, and definitely just go check that reading, or you are dealing with somebody that's much more earthy than you. You are a fire sign, and right now you seem to be needing to address that fiery side that may make you think that you're doing everything right. And no offense here, we we all can tip into that side of we're not perfect, and we always try to survive the best way we can, so no judgment here whatsoever. But yeah, so there seems to be like two energies that seem to go parallel but not finding each other in this case. Yeah, you may know the transformation is needed, and this person may be just focused on what makes them feel safe and secure, and just wanting to aim there. And maybe that's where their power and the strength will play a role in this upcoming week, understanding that that's what they want, and perhaps trying to start to motion themselves into that direction, if you see what I mean. Okay, now if this is only you, if it's only your energy, then what this tells me is that if you do your work properly, if you shut off parts of you that also don't serve you at this time, and you create a better reality for yourself that involves self-work, then for sure like if you give love to yourself, you will feel empowered that way. You will feel like you get into a space which is much more rewarding and grounded, and make you feel like, okay, you've done the good work, and now you can reap the results of it. All right. Okay, Sagittarius, well, I hope this helped and it resonated in some shape or form. If you like this video, please let me know, like drop me a comment. I'd love to hear how this works out for you. And please don't forget to give me a like, and absolutely please don't forget to subscribe, because this is the way I can reach out to more and more people that may need guidance, support, whatever it is that they can take out of this. Okay, well, thank you so much, Sagittarius. I hope to see you next week again. Bye. Hi Capricorn, welcome back. So if you've been here before, you know how this works, and if you don't, I'm going to give you the same speech I gave all the other signs, which is I'm going to lay out 2 rows of cards here that will speak of the energy that surrounds you and perhaps another person in matters, obviously, or more focused, let's say, on love, so emotions. But this could also be two rows of cards that actually speak of a story that unfolds for you this coming week. So don't forget indeed that this is a short energy reading. So for me it lasts about a week indeed. And that it's a collective reading. So not everything will resonate for you, but take whatever resonates, okay? And leave what doesn't. And let's go ahead with this. Let's see. What is the story here? All right. Okay, so the first row of cards here is the Queen of Cups, the Four of Cups, and Judgment. Judgment has been coming out not much, but a bit, and actually came out I think right now in this past reading, which was Sagittarius. So if that's the case, it's either Sagittarius or Scorpio or both. So just go check out those videos in case you are connected to them or you have them in your chart. Maybe it speaks a bit of Sagittarius in any way, but yeah, it's up to you. It doesn't have to be. Now, first row card, like I said, Queen of Cups, Four of Cups, Judgment. Now, this is a very similar message to, I think it was Scorpio, but maybe wrong. There's a need here to really trust something that is bigger than you, okay? There's a big need here for surrendering whatever it is that keeps you stuck in a position where you feel like nothing is going your way. You need to release all of this voices in your head that tell you a story that doesn't exist. It seems to be a whole lot of that now. I know that there are no swords in this reading, but for some reason this is what I get, like something that, you know, the chatter that goes on in our head that we can't control. Well, guess what? We can control it the moment that we say we accept that they are there, and we accept that this is how we're going to go about it, which is letting it be, feeling it, feeling the feelings, the good and the bad, especially the bad, because that's how we can release them, okay? So in this case, Capricorn, it seems that you really need to come more into a centered place for yourself, because right now you seem to be either very disconnected from reality or your emotions, or you know, you can't see that actually there can be a silver lining to whichever situation it is that you're in. But it really requires you to trust that it's not all in your head. You cannot fix it all based on what, you know, on your thought process. And like I said, don't shoot me. I know that there are no swords in here. If you're a tarot reader, you know exactly that sometimes we get cards that don't always speak of the same story. And that's the beauty of the tarot and the beauty of being guided intuitively to read them. So please trust in that as well. That there's a whole need of trust in this reading, okay? Let's go to the second energy for a second, or the second raw, and see how that plays out and see how we can put this all together. So we got the Two of Pentacles here, we got the World card, and then we got the Nine of Cups. Now, the Two of Pentacles speaks of perhaps a decision, or like something that has to be clarified, something that you know, this person may not be seeing clearly about. But it also is followed by the World, which is the end of a cycle, which tells me that this indecision or this choice will eventually be made this week, because the card of the World is here, which means this is coming to an end, this process, this thinking, this indecision. And if it is indeed connected to love, which is what this reading is all about in the first place, then this person will either come forward with, let's say, an offer of love. It seems like, you know, like a by the book sort of a sentence. I don't usually speak that way, but that's what the Knight of Cups speaks of as well. Or maybe they, you know, they either embody that energy or something of you know, in this of this type of this oh my god, I can't speak today, I'm sorry. You know, this kind of energy will come towards them. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm so into the energy. I can't like really always you know, convey in words what it is that I feel or that I hear. Okay, now let's not forget that the Knight of Cups is not the most stable of energies. It's you know, it's one of those wild kind of loves that come through and doesn't think about it, and you know, everything will be going fine and we're gonna be happy ever after, and this is the biggest love of my life sort of thing. But that doesn't reflect all the time in the long term. So why do I say this? Is because possibly again there's an encouragement here to say, hey, for this person, hey, this indecision will come to an end. You're ending a cycle, and the beauty of it is that you're going to begin a new one with possibly some emotional fulfillment. Just perhaps don't put all your eggs in one basket, in the sense that don't just throw yourself into that, because the risk is perhaps to just go back into the loop of, okay, now maybe I have to make another decision, maybe this is not what I thought it was. Okay, so but it is beautiful that, you know, a new cycle opens up with the Knight of Cups, because it kind of gives hope again. It just kind of opens ourselves up to, yeah, to be more in our heart and be more connected with ourselves. Just, you know, take it with a grain of salt, because it may be the beginning of something beautiful, or it may be something that will help you get out of an old cycle and get into a new one. And so that will, you know, kind of set the tone for a better scenario, but it may not be like, you know, the person you're going to end up marrying, if that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now, if this is in the case that this is another person, now if this is not another person, and if this story is all about you, then definitely what this tells me is that if you release, you know, the chatter in your head, which involves perhaps a decision, perhaps something that you don't know how to go about it quite yet, the good news is that the cycle will end. And then again, the same thing I was saying before applies with the Knight of Cups. You will start with an open heart, which is exactly what the Queen of Cups is asking you to do. Open up your heart. And then in this case, then this may be like the beginning of something beautiful, new, emotionally more connected than it seems like you have been up until now. Okay. So overall, it's a beautiful reading. I mean, it just speaks about you being capable of taking yourself out. But like I said, that depends on you. You have the choice, and knowing that this is the energy, then, you know, maybe you feel a bit more encouraged into that direction, and things will unfold the way you wish for. All right, Capricorn, beautiful reading. I hope it resonated for you in some shape or form. If you did, please leave a comment to let me know if that's the case. And if you enjoyed this, please don't forget to give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe. This is very important to me, because that's the way I can reach out more and more people that may be in need of guidance or support, or whatever it is that each of you takes out of my readings. Okay? Well, thank you so much, Capricorn. I hope to see you again next week. Bye. Hi, Aquarius. Welcome back. So, if you've been here before, I'm going to give you the same speech I gave everybody else before you. I'm fairly new on this channel, so I'm very new on this channel. So, I just want to make sure that the people that cross my path know what this is all about. So, I'm just going to lay out 2 rows of cards, and they will speak of either 2 energies that are intertwined, and one of them is probably you, or it speaks of the energy that surrounds you at this time for this upcoming week, because this is a very short energy reading that is more focused on the emotional side of things. But emotional and love don't mean just you and another person, which, by the way, doesn't have to be an intimate partner only. It could also be a family, a friend, you name it. You will know which one resonates for you. It could also speak of a story that you are going through for yourself. You are on a path of self-love, self-journey, and why not? I mean, that's the most beautiful thing, most beautiful gift we can give ourselves. So that'll be also a possibility. Okay, so like I said, take it as it resonates. Now this Hangman has come out now I don't know how many times, and that tells me that there's something in the collective that has to do with a change of perspective, and you really sit on the energy, and not to rush into whichever decision that we think we should be making at this time, which would make a whole lot of sense to me, given that right now at the time of this recording we're actually in the Mercury retrograde, first of all. And so that means that we are invited to actually slow down. I know many people don't like Mercury retrograde. I used to be one of those because it affected me and everything around me in terms of technology, like everything, and it still does. I mean, sometimes I have my phone switching off all of a sudden, and it happens regularly on a Mercury retrograde. It happened already 3 times this time, but I learned to appreciate Mercury retrogrades because they actually are a chance to slow down the thought process and to make it more worthwhile for us if we accept that that's the kind of energy that it is. Now, this Mercury retrograde is happening in the sign of Aries, which is definitely not the easiest thing to do. It's really one of those signs that Mercury thrives on in terms of mental work. I would know, my Mercury is in Aries. But it's really an invitation to say, hey, you are this quick thinker. You can, you have a whole lot of stories in your head. You can handle a whole lot of information. Just sit in it. Just make the best out of it. Because if you keep rushing into it, Aries style, then it's not going to happen. Now, all of this to say that because the Hangman has come out at least in the Scorpio reading, I think, the Sagittarius reading, and I think Capricorn right before this, I think. It tells me that these signs are either connected, which is very likely. It usually happens to me that Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Capricorn and Scorpio are actually connected. I know that there are signs that have nothing to do with each other, but they actually are connected in some shape or form. And this is something that I will have to study more about. But also it means that there is a collective energy going on that really invites us to sit on our thoughts and our situation at this moment. Okay, moving on, because you're here for a tarot reading, I just wanted to explain that we're all connected in that respect. So perhaps, you may be connected certainly with, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. I was about to say Taurus, but I don't know why. Well, King of Pentacles, yeah. But anyways, it doesn't have to be. What I need to tell you is what this first draw card is all about. Sorry, sometimes it just keep going. Like I said, my Mercury is in Aries, so I speak a lot and fast. So the first draw opens up with the Eight of Cups, followed by the King of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Cups really speaks of living behind something, and it may as well be the case, okay? But in this case, it just tells me that it's actually going towards a place that is much lighter, much brighter. And you may be doing this very consciously, like being extremely aware of what it is that you are doing. What it means is that this is not catching you by surprise, and it's like a very well thought over sort of situation. You make this decision to either walk away or see the light on the other side of leaving behind something that may have been very important to you. I cannot really tell. And what this tells me though is that there's kind of like a rebuilding after this happens. There's a rebuilding with a different kind of energy, an energy of collaboration, an energy of support, an energy of more lightness and more flow. Flow is the word that I was looking for. With this Three of Pentacles here, there is a chance to actually build something that it's a little bit more grounded and stable. And Aquarius, you're not necessarily a sign that needs grounding because your mental skills are off the charts, and perhaps the King of Swords indeed is you in that respect, because it's a person that knows exactly, like, can master his mind in ways that very few signs can. But it tells me that at this time you want to change things and make them work better for you in a different kind of flow. And don't get this wrong, but I have this feeling that perhaps your mental skills, which are, like I said, off the charts, wonderful, like very few signs have that clarity of mind. They may have you at the same time, though, kept you like separated, detached, which is something that Aquariuses are great doing. That, you guys compartmentalize in ways that no other sign is capable to do. but you may have contributed to this lack of cooperation and flow. And sorry, my camera doesn't put everything in focus. You may have contributed to that. So by leaving behind other situation or a way of being, so maybe this, you know, this detached mode that you may have put on by default, because that's what you do, because you need to be clear-headed in whatever it is that you do on a daily basis, then this allows for a space where things are actually built together with somebody else, either with the community or another person. Given this is a love reading, maybe some of you are, you know, indeed like trying to either rebuild bridges with a significant person, or you know, they're looking for, you're looking for more support around you. And so this is an invitation for you to say, hey, indeed, you are looking at a better side of this. You're out of, or you will take yourself out of whatever doesn't serve you, which doesn't have to be a situation. Like I said, it could be a thought pattern. You're going to do this very clear-headedly, and you're going to get into a space where you will get the support that you will actually enjoy. Because this card, the Three of Pentacles, kind of gives me a sense of warmth that even if you're a Sagittarius, you may be needing at this time. Sagittarius are so independent and so good at making things work for themselves. They don't need anybody. But they're also the sign of community. They're also the sign of, you know, being humanitarian, kind of looking towards. So you just don't want to be alone, and at the same time you want to be alone. But what seems to be missing is the warmth in it, which is available to you this week, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm using so many words in this video. I don't know why. Probably because I'm dealing with an Aquarius. and I say that with love. I really appreciate your sign. It's just I wish I had that mental capacity and detachment to see things the way they are. So anyways, moving on. The second row of cards here is the Hangman, like I said, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Page of Swords. Okay, so if this is another person, a person you're dealing with, that is most prominent in your energy, it's a person that is actually doing the right thing to do at this time, which is slow down, not do anything, and look at things from another perspective. Allow for that to come in, okay? And that will bring definitely the stability and the groundness that it's needed, that ironically is what you want and need yourself. It will bring not only stability, but also a sense of enjoyment out of it. Because stability for an Aquarius sometimes is just, you know, a synonym of boring, and you despise boring, right? But what it's here, it's just, you know, it's somebody that is actually pretty alive and happy with where they're at, both in terms of perhaps financially, but more so in terms of how also they're feeling inside. And it's, you know, it's a person that has the opportunity at this time, this upcoming week at least, to take advantage eventually of, you know, like having a look at different possibilities, different projects, different ideas that will pop out. But again, not taking action right now, just sitting on them, understanding that there may be different ways to tackle the subject. And so they will just have this available to them, and they're doing their work. So that's a great thing to look at, to see at this point. Now, if this is only you, Aquarius, then indeed, after this moment where you leave something behind, you will just get this different perspective, because you will understand that you need to sit on your thoughts at this moment in order for you to reach the kind of collaboration and warmth that you're wishing in your life, which is available to you. And, you know, and many other ways to do the same thing even will pop up for you if you just allow the space for it. Okay. All right, this was a bit convoluted. Sorry about that. I used many words to get to the same thing, but I hope message is clear. And if it did, and if it resonated, please don't forget to let me know, and just leave me a message. Let me know how this works for you. And don't forget to give me a like, please. And don't forget to subscribe. That's very important to me, to be able to reach more and more people that may need some guidance, some support, or whatever it is that each of you take out of me or my readings. Okay. All right. I hope to see you soon again next week for the same check, and I wish you a wonderful week. Bye. Hi Pisces, welcome back. So I'm gonna give you the same speech I gave every other sign before you. If you haven't been here before, then what I'm going to do is to lay out 2 rows of cards, and that will speak of other 2 energies, of which one is yours and the other one will be somebody that is most prominent in your energy at this time. That could certainly be an intimate partner, but it could also be a friend, a family member, a co-worker, you name it. Or the 2 rows of cards will actually unfold the story behind what's going on for you this upcoming week, because you're doing some, you're on a path of self journey of self-love or whatever, and that's, it's a great indicator to see where this is headed for you. And indeed, this is just a short time energy reading for me. It lasts about a week, so yeah, don't get too hooked up on the outcomes, in the sense that, well, you can always change them because you have free will, and 2, this will not, it's a quick kind of energy, so you will have probably something else popping up for you next week. Okay, let's see if I can get one more card for the second row, and then we'll get started. 2 more cards. All right. Okay, so Pisces. Well, the first row of cards here is impressive because it has 3 major arcana, which tells me that this is not something that is as temporary as we might think it is. So it's not going to be something that affects this upcoming week only. This tells me that this is a major time in your life where whatever happens now will either impact you, or you definitely won't forget what's going on at this time for a while at least. Because what you have out here is the Hermit, Strength, and the Moon. Now, the Hermit and the Moon are not the same cards at all, but they both carry a sense of going within, finding or searching for answers, understanding oneself and others, and kind of shine a light on whatever it is that is or may be unknown to you. So this tells me that this is a time of introspection, a time of self-empowerment, and a time to just either diving into things that are really embedded in you, and it requires a whole lot of self-work and willingness to go into areas of your life that you may not be willing to always uncover, because they may be a bit painful. They may carry qualities of things that you don't know, things you're not sure about, things that perhaps others are hiding from you, ancestral, for some reason I'm called to say that, ancestral secrets, or things from your past, stuff that actually has been passed on to you and you are trying at this time to unravel, and you go down that rabbit hole, but it can be painful. So now, none of this speaks of pain, okay? What I'm saying is it's a very deep kind of work, and usually that comes with a whole sort of either revelations or feelings that get stirred, because definitely the Moon being here, there are a lot of feelings that will get stirred, but it's also a path and a journey of self-empowerment, because you're really doing the work. You know that you don't have to look to the outside world to see what it is that impacts you, what it is that affects you. You also understand that you have a role in it, that you play an important part of it in it, and then you're doing the work that you're supposed to be doing. Now, you may also be dealing with a Virgo or a Leo, or you may have that strong in your chart, and if that's the case, this is even more an indication that this is a reading for you, but it doesn't have to be. You may be dealing with somebody that has those signs, and that also can be an indication for you of further confirmation that this is a reading for you. But don't get too hooked up on this. It's actually the first time, or one of the first times, that I'm actually giving signs affinity, because I know some people like it, but I only say that usually when I'm called to say that. Okay, let's move on to the second row of cards here, just to see what's going on for this second energy, if it is a second energy that we're talking about. So we have the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. So what this tells me is that if this second person is a person that's finally it's gone through maybe a period of struggle, but it's finally actually getting into a period where there are new things popping up for them, in terms of perhaps new projects, new ideas, but more than new ideas. Something that can be a bit more grounding and at the same time exciting. So something that kind of stirs the life in the person again, and that's either because they have trusted their intuition, or at this time for this upcoming week they're really encouraged to follow their intuition, to not dismiss it, because that's the way forward, that's the way to get out of the Five of Pentacles. Okay, this message is pretty clear and I don't feel like I need to go more in depth about this. What I want to say is that if this is not you and another person, or maybe you are obviously intertwined with another person, but this could sound more just like you and your own process, then I would say that everything that I said before about the Hermit, the Strength, and the Moon, and how they intertwine with each other, these cards, and what they mean, this is the way that you're gonna get yourself out of this Five of Pentacles, because the High Priestess being here is just an extra confirmation that, you know, you do the self-work, you're being very self-introspective, you are willing to go down into, you know, things that are maybe painful, but you trust that this is how you are gonna get to a place where you're gonna feel renewed in terms of having new things at hand that will give you either back the life that you may felt like was a bit plain or flat up until now, or, you know, this past week or so, or, you know, like a sense of groundness that you may have looked for, and something that can you know, kind of root you more into who you are, into your true essence. Okay, because doing the work with the Hermit, what it means is that you're actually going to be your authentic you as much as you can, especially when paired up with Strength card, which speaks about self-empowerment, which means that you know yourself and you know your value and your worth. Okay, yeah, I don't think I need to add more of this. It's just very interesting how it plays out in terms of being in a long-term energy because of the major arcana, but it will play differently for all of you, so take what resonates and what doesn't, leave it alone. Please, if you enjoy this, if you find this useful, please don't forget to put a like to this video, and don't forget to subscribe, because this is how I'm going to reach out to more and more people that may be in the same need for guidance or support, or whatever it is that you guys take out of my readings. Okay, well, thank you so much, Pisces. I wish you a wonderful week, and I hope to see you again next one. Bye.